is Amy Hallquist. I am a physical therapist assistant for Freudenthal Home Health. I have been a physical therapist for 22 years. I went to Brookfield High School, and then I transferred into Missouri Western State University. I originally wanted to be a physical therapist because I enjoyed helping people. I ended up choosing to stay or to enroll in the physical therapy assistant program while I finished up my bachelor's degree before I would transfer into the physical therapy program, but I decided that I liked the physical therapy assistant program, and that's where I stayed. I liked it because I was able to treat patients all the time. So patients are my love. I love being with patients, and that's where I stayed in the physical therapy assistant side. Initially, whenever I got out of school and was a licensed physical therapy assistant, I worked for acute care, and then after 5 years I transitioned to the outpatient side. Once I transitioned to the outpatient side, I had an opportunity to start working in vestibular therapy, working with people that has vertigo, and I was asked if I wanted to do any training on that, and I was like, sure, I'll do training on that. I don't really know what it is, but sure, I'll be happy to be trained in it. So they sent me to numerous places around the United States, and I worked on being educated in vertigo. And what I have found with vertigo is that it is a crucial part of many people's lives. Many people have it and don't realize that they have it, or they don't know how to fix it once they have it. So I took that training and went with it, and I have been using it in everyday life. I actually had my husband and myself both have benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. So I know personally what it feels like for the spinning and the dizziness, so I can connect with my patients on exactly what happens during a vertigo case. So I think that that helps immensely whenever you can experience it and go through what it is so that you can help guide them through the process. And my husband actually laid there probably for 3 days before I was able to realize, maybe I should treat him. So I let him suffer a little too long than I would let most people suffer, but I was able to treat him and fixed him. So I've been his poster child, for everything. Every time he talks to someone, he's like, hey, are you dizzy? Talk to my wife. It is BPPV, or benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. BPPV, or positional vertigo. People like to drop out the other words because it's a little easier to say. Some people just say I got rocks loose in my head. That's another way to describe it, and that's pretty much what it is. BPPV is a disorder of the inner ear. So with the inner ear, I like to explain that people have a semicircular canals inside their inner ear, and there's 3 of them. So they're like 1, 2, and then another one up here. And at the base of it, there is a bunch of hairs, like a base with a bunch of hairs, so I call that the toothbrush. So the toothbrush, the crystals sit on top of the toothbrush. And what happens is that the crystals fall off of that toothbrush and start rolling around inside of the semicircular canals. When they're rolling around inside of the ear or the semicircular canals, then that is what causes the spinning sensation that you're feeling. So every time you're moving your head, those crystals will roll around into a different canal or around one canal and cause the intense spinning motion that you're feeling. Whenever I test for it, I have to test by positioning your head in different positions. And if I get, your eyes will have a nystagmus to them, they can flutter when we do this. You look for that. You look for just signs and symptoms of dizziness. People get nauseated. You can vomit along with it. So if you have any of those symptoms whenever we do what we call a Dix-Hallpike test, then we will treat you. And once you treat the person, then you're just positioning the head in different positions to roll the crystals back through the semicircular canals and placing them back on what I say the toothbrush, and they have to stay there. I like home health because everyone likes to be aging in home. So you like to age in home. I like the fact that, especially with benign positional vertigo, that it causes an intense dizziness and spinning sensation, so you shouldn't drive with that. So it allows us to come into the home and treat you for BPPV in the home so that you're safer, so that you're not going out and having to drive somewhere to receive services. So I think it's a great aspect that we can offer to come into the home and treat people with benign positional vertigo. If you have vertigo, then I would highly recommend you seeing your physician and ask for an order to be evaluated for benign positional vertigo through Freudenthal Home Health, and we will come out and help assess you and your vertigo needs. Like I said before, there are many different types of vertigo, so benign paroxysmal positional vertigo is just one small aspect of vertigo. So just because you have dizziness does not mean that you have benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, but we can definitely evaluate your source of vertigo and help guide you in the right way with your vertigo.